All right, man. Claressa Shields defeats Savannah Marshall. Let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance notifications. We go live or drop video. Now, yeah, Shields early on outboxing her, outfoxing her. I think a lot of people, especially the commentators, was worried about a potential robbery in this fight. Marshall is the big woman. You know what I'm saying? She is very, 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 very big. Okay. And the size was apparent, not just the height, but the overall girth size. So one thing is clear, Claressa Shields don't really understand leverage like Terence Crawford and Usyk. If she did, she would drop her weight a little bit more. But nonetheless, Marshall really just wore her down with size and physicality. And Marshall and Claressa Shields' output was a lot too. That also, made her kind of lay on the ropes. When you fight somebody that big, it's hard. It's hard to stay off the ropes. Especially Marshall was showing some good head movement, but nothing that she did was truly effective in to really winning the fight. Right? What she did down the stretch was just attrition and lean and land a shot here and there. For as monstrous puncher, as natural puncher as she is, she hurt Claressa Shields like 2 times. You know what I'm saying? So now out of all the punches that she threw, you thought she would hurt her a lot more. A lot more. So, but she was on the head movement. She had a game plan, and Shields was clocking her. She was landing more effective shots. She was throwing a lot of shots. She was hitting her with those hooks and all that stuff. She was trying to throw everything into those hooks. She just, didn't have enough power to hurt her or knock her down. She was throwing to the body, and Marshall was a very, very prime physical, conditioned athlete. Marshall did kind of get tired. She started leaning on Shields, but Shields was the more skilled fighter. Shields was the more offensive fighter. Shields was just all around better. You know what I'm saying? She went to the body. She went upstairs. She liked to see her use some straight punches a little bit more, but her weapon of choice is the hook. Her weapon of choice is the hook. So, but she was turning her. Late in the fight, she couldn't turn her like she wanted to because she was so big and leaning on her and stuff. So, need to work on like learning how to drop her weight and all that type of stuff. So, on that stuff, but Marshall was big, slow. She just did it. Tyson Fury started leaning on her and just started throwing. She didn't respect Claressa Shields' punching power. Obviously, through the fight, speed gonna drop off. So this became a fight of attrition. But Shields landed the cleaner and more effective shots, and that's what it just pretty much boiled down to. She was a more skilled fighter. Her defense was more on point. She was catching, shooting. It was just a lot of people were saying, man, possibly this could be a robbery. If she keep on the ropes like this, and she was fighting well on the ropes, but she was staying there a little bit too much. So she should have been sliding She should have been sliding on the ropes, and that's what Andre Ward was saying. And Andre Ward, he never traveled overseas because he didn't want to get robbed. So that's kind of the fear a lot of these athletes from some, their amateur experience and past experiences that they don't go over there because they don't want to get robbed. So you can't blame them, but she took a chance. Scott paid her a 7-figure deal. Who wouldn't go over there? So obviously, kind of balanced, even though she was going against every person in the crowd. But Scott had a lot of money invested in Claressa Shields. That ain't no chump change, men or women boxing. Talking about a 3-fight, 7-figure deal. That's a lot of money. So they had something invested in her too, and rematch. Who knows? But I thought she pretty much ran away with it down the stretch. It was competitive, because she just started leaning on her, losing her size and all that type of stuff. And Claressa just needed to learn how to kind of like drop her weight, a little bit more. When she learned to kind of leverage shit like Crawford and Usyk, they wrestled. That's the difference, though. I think she'd be all right. But, of course, she ran away with the fight. I don't think it was real competitive. At the end, she kind of made like, she kind of made it competitive at the end, but she wasn't landing the clean, effective shot. So, So Claressa Shields threw 471 shots. She landed 174, which I don't really go by this, but she landed 37%, 33 to the body. Savannah Marshall threw 391, landed 132, 34%, 14 body shots. So, you know, I mean, Claressa Shields was just more effective to me. It landed cleaner, more effective shots, but Savannah Marshall was leaning on her and doing some things, but she hurt her a couple times too, but she never followed up. And Claressa just not having power, not her naturally being gifted in the hands of power. It's gonna be an uphill battle for her. In some of these fights, especially when you're traveling to the UK. So, um, it is what it is. So, but Marshall, she fought a good fight. You know, she fought a good fight. Really did. So, um, but her fight was more just her fight was more like kind of like just I'm out skilled and I'm just thug it out and try to make it a and try to close the skill gaps with physicality and aggressiveness. No, so that's what it pretty much was. But she had to wait for Shields to really slow down. But if Shields can punch, that shit would have been over with. But Marshall might just have one of them dog ass chins too. So shit, you never really know. But good fight, by both the co-main and the main event. Alicia Baumgartner, Michaela Meyer lived up to the expectations. So did the Katie Taylor and Serrano fight. Both lived up to expectations. So, that's the dope thing about it. So, yeah, rarely do you see these big events, especially in men's boxing lately, live up to expectations. And they are. These women fights lived up to expectations. So, dope. Check out the women's boxing playlist. Check out the, fight reaction playlist. Financially one support the channel. Cash App $ CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know in the comment section. Peace. And don't forget to check out the women's boxing playlist and the fight reaction playlist.